Hey, what's up? For those of you who are returning from my previous video, I am still lost out here and have not found my way back to my house. But more importantly, and for those of you who are new, I am worried about the future of my channel because of Google's latest policy changes, specifically on age verification. Um, at the surface and where they try to keep things at for most regular viewers, all they say is that, oh, you just lose access to monetization features like Google AdSense, Google Ads, Google Analytics, as well as like monetization for YouTubers. But um they actually make it so that you potentially lose access to advanced upload features or advanced channel features that are all accessible through YouTube Studio. And so that means I lose access to A/B testing for titles and thumbnails, which, if you're not aware how that tends to work, is literally free impressions and potentially free extra views from whatever you've initially uploaded as your title and thumbnail. And I'd love to have that. I just because of what that is at the core. But then you also lose access to embedding links in your description, and then even just regularly pinning comments. And it's puzzling to me why they'd make the change when all this stuff is super duper regular features for everyday YouTubers to grow and properly manage their channel and like make sure all their stuff is linked so that people just find their stuff for outreach, basically. And further, I'm worried that even though you can check your video as like not being for kids but not restricted to adults, what if they make it in the future, like when this finally is effective on July 30th, I'm pretty sure. What if they make it so that if you check, no, this video is not made for kids at all, that you, oh, show us your ID, please. Because at that point, I'm cooked. I'm done for. Clearly, I'm not compliant with this new regulation, not out of responsibility and not because I want to upload terrible things, but because I don't want my personal info attached to my videos knowing that it could be used against me regardless of my intentions. Literally, I will repeat, regardless of my intentions. And so the main thing that I'm worried about in that little conspiracy of mine is when you mark a video as being for kids, you lose access to comments, you lose access to monetization. Monetization can be thrown out the window, whatever. But your video just doesn't have as much outreach generally as a regular upload that isn't meant for kids. And so these are like the two biggest factors of what'll take a small channel like mine to grow into at least a medium-sized channel with like a couple thousand subscribers. And so without that, I'm just like, shoot, like I'm screwed. What do I do? My hopes are that as of July 30th, that is not the case and that I could continue uploading videos without having to put in an ID, because really, Google, YouTube, I've said already, but I'll say again, I don't want something that sensitive attached to my account, my videos, whatever. You guys already have my phone number just so I can upload videos more than 15 minutes long and use custom thumbnails. That is all y'all need. And y'all really don't need that. Me personally, I grew up with the side of the internet where email verification was enough. You didn't need a phone number. You didn't need now an ID or a credit card linked to your freaking account. Really, if you want to know where my frustrations are coming from, check out the video pasted on screen from Deep Humor. I mean, it explains things in a bit more detail than what I've given. And even so, that still doesn't cover the full synopsis. And don't even get me started on like COPPA 2.0 and the Kids Act. Because while it does do some certain agreeable things to keep children from seeing terrible stuff online that is even targeted for them to see, when they're not supposed to, mind you, it then goes on to address that like adults' free speech will be limited, adults' privacy will be limited, And rather than saying the word limited, I think the better word is those privacy and freedom of speech rights will be infringed upon across the internet if this goes through, because it's already gone through the House, now it needs to go through the Senate and then even be approved by the president, which I'm hoping neither of the two happens. But time will tell, both for the future of my channel and the future of the internet. Golly.